Okay, so now let's continue our discussion. So we've already discussed how to make a chemical formula by its rules and regulation. Of course, the rules or steps how to make a chemical formula. So now let's proceed to chemical reaction. So there are a lot of types of chemical reaction. So by this discussion, we will be knowing what are those types of chemical reaction. We will be we will be discussing it one by one. Okay, without further ado, let's start. Okay, so before we will start to the types of chemical reaction, of course, we have to define it first. Chemical reaction is the process in which substance or the substances are changed into one or more substances. So, meaning to say, when we say chemical reaction, it is actually a transformation of chemical substance into a new chemical substance by making and breaking of bonds between different atoms. So that makes a chemical reaction. So, meaning to say, you will be changing the substance here from the chemical substance that you have. If it will go to the process chemical reaction, it will change into a new chemical substance. Meron siyang process, may nangyayari. Ibig sabihin, from the chemical substance that you have, if that chemical substance undergo chemical reaction, it will change into another new. Pag sinabing another, new chemical substance. Okay, how does it make? Of course, by breaking the bonds between the different atoms of the chemical substance. So that is the process called chemical reaction. So now let's proceed. So as I've said, there are types of chemical reaction. Let's discuss it one by one. So let's discuss first what is combination reaction. So from the name itself, combination reaction, eventually you are now combining a certain substances, right? Kasi from the word itself pa lang, combination. Okay? So we have decomposition reaction. So what does this process go or do in this part? Third, we have single replacement reaction. And of course, the double replacement reaction. And combustion reaction. So that is the types of chemical reaction. As I've said, we will be discussing it one by one. So let's start first, of course, in combination reaction, or it also known as a synthesis reaction. As I've said, from the name itself palang, combination, it is actually a combination of two or more reactants form a one product. So that's why it's called combination, because the chemical substance here is a combination of a two product. So the simplest example is in here. Meron akong simple example dito. So from the chemical product which is A, adding to another product which is, or combining with another product which is B. So we have now a one product which is AB. So that leads as a combination reaction from the two or more reactants, then combining it to form one product. So it's very simple. Next. So this one, another example of it. Yan. From the subscript pa rin, nakikita natin that from the two element combined, then it will produce a one product or one reactant. Okay, so by this example, as we can see, this one, in the this hydrogen and nitrogen, it is actually called as a reactant, and the combination of it is called as your product. So as I've said, if you have in the first type of chemical reaction, if it is in a combination reaction, the product will be the combination of the two or more reactant. So since set aside the subscript, don't mind it. So since we have two reactant here, so it will be producing a one product or one reactant na from the combination of two. Okay, nagets? That's why it's called combination. Combine lang. So it's very simple. So now let's proceed to another chemical reaction. Types of chemical reaction, we have decomposition. If the combination reaction is, or synthesis reaction is for two or more reactants combining to each other, then produce a one product. Decomposition naman baliktad. Decomposition reaction is coming from a single reactant, is decomposed or broken down into two or more products. So meaning to say, from the single product, from the single reactant right here, A and B, gagawin, i-decompose yan. That's why it's called decomposition, from the root word of it, decompose. You have to broken down it. So what is the element that being produced by this product? We have A and plus B. So you have to broken down the two element in that compound, so it makes as A plus B. So from the single reactant, which is AB, we have now A plus B kasi we have to broken down it in the decomposition reaction. Another easy way in the type of chemical reaction, right? So another example. So here, yan. So don't mind the subscript and the another another like formula that you are looking at. Wag nang i-mind, just focus on the two element. Then combine it to I didn't know. Hindi combine kasi hindi ito combination. What they call this? I-broken down. Okay. Yan. So ito yan yung mga example. From silver bromide, of course, i-broken down mo siya. We have 2 silver and bromine. Okay, so don't mind again the subscript, just focus to the element. Okay, decomposition reaction, you have to decompose or broken down, and combination reaction is coming from 2 or more reactants, then combining it to one reactant. Okay, let's proceed. So let's proceed now to the single replacement reaction. A single replacement reaction naman is replaces or substituted for one of the element in a compound. The free element is more reactive than the one it replaces. So eventually this is a single replacement reaction. You have to replace the one element, but you have to replace it. Ililipat mo lang siya. So from its reactant A plus BC, so it will make as AC plus B. Kasi i-replace lang yung place ni C doon sa A. Okay. So that is single replacement reaction. You have to free the element that is more reactive than the one then it is replaces. Okay? So that is single replacement reaction. If you have question clarification, you can leave that in our GC. Another simple example for a type of chemical reaction. Next, if we have another example naman. Ito. Example, we have this sa below niya, another element. So potassium and sodium chloride. So just replace the chloride, the place of the chloride, di ba, nasa sodium siya, so just replace it. Kasi bakit? Yun na nga, pag sabing single replace, you have to replace the what? The more reactive one. So the free element is more reactive than the one its replacement. So meaning to say, yung nare-replace pala ay hindi yung mas reactive. So just follow how it goes in the single replacement reaction from A plus BC. So just since the element C is the quite less reaction have reaction, so siya ang i-replace. From here, if we have in this element naman in the potassium and the sodium chloride, si chlorine naman yung least na i-replace. Okay? So, the same as this one, ganun din siya. Okay? So, let's proceed for another examples naman. So, always remember that the least one na reactant ang i-replace ninyo. So, as you can see here, From magnesium to copper nitrate, si nitrate nalilipat, so it makes at magnesium nitrate plus copper. Okay, so from potassium to water, so potassium hydroxide hydrogen. So the oxide here will be transfer to potassium. Okay, ganyan lang. You have to transfer the least one. Okay, let's proceed. Proceed now to the another type of chemical reaction. If we have single replacement reaction, of course, we have double replacement reaction. This reaction type can be viewed as an exchange of partner. In a double displacement reaction or metathesis reaction, two species, normally ions, are displaced. Most of them reaction of this type occur in a solution, in either an insoluble solid or precipitation reaction or water. Neutralization reaction will be formed. So it's very, very easy, the double replacement reaction, because exchange of partner lang siya. So as you can see in the illustration below, from from the reactant AB plus reactant CD, the product will be AD plus CBY, because you have to exchange. You have to interchange only the partner of A and C. So from the partner of A, which is B, you have to replace it to D, and from the partner of C, which is D, you have to replacement into B. So it's very simple. Replace the exchange partners, or just exchange the partners. Okay? So another example. So right here, very simple. So from potassium bromide to silver nitrate, it makes at potassium nitrate. Kasi i-interchange ang both partners ng reactant. So from potassium bromide, it will make as potassium nitrate. Why? Because bromine will interchange to nitrate. Okay, so from silver nitrate, it will change to silver bromide, because from nitrate, it will change to bromine or bromide. Okay, ganyan lang. You have to interchange the partner of each reactant. So that is the double replacement reaction. Okay, double replacement reaction is double displacement reaction is the cations and anions of two compounds switch places. So A and C are actions positive ions, and B and D are the anions, which is the negative ions. That's why I've said that you have to interchange the partner of both reactants. So papaano? The least lang, meaning to say the negative ions or the anions of each reactant. So in that case, the second element ang i-interchange mo. So ganon. So the same with this example. From AgNO3 plus NaCl, replace now the nitrate to chlorine. So you have here Ag chloride plus NaNO3. Okay, sodium nitrate. Okay, from silver chloride to sodium nitrate. So just replace it. Okay, so another types of chemical reaction, we have combustion reaction. Combustion reaction refers to a high energy chemical reaction in which fuel is oxidized and converted into a mixture of often gaseous products. Combustion reaction always involve molecular oxygen anytime anything burns in the usual sense. It is a combustion reaction are almost always exothermic, meaning to say they give off heat. When organic molecules combust, the reaction products are carbon dioxide and water, as well as heat. So meaning to say, when we say combustion reaction, the product of it will always give a heat. Anytime anything burns, it is usual sense, and it is a combustion reaction. So what are the example for combustion reaction? We have carbon plus oxygen. We have carbon dioxide. Propane, of course, we have water and methanol and acetone. So always remember that in the combustion reaction, it is eventually coming from the element that is producing a heat. Okay, if there is anything burns, it is usual sense of a combustion reaction. Okay, so this one from the example, ganito. Oh, so this is actually a summarization for the example of the different types of chemical reaction. From the combination reaction, decomposition reaction, to combustion reaction, and displacement reaction. Okay, so it is just a example. This is just an illustration of the example of the different types of chemical reaction. So that is the end of our discussion for chemical reaction. So this will serve as the coverage of your exam in the semi-final exam. I hope you understand my discussion. And if you have question and clarification, you can leave it to our GC. Thank you very much and have a safe day.